pictures from Alaska today, the one on the left here. And as you can see, the time of the picture and date is almost identical to the time and date taken from Florida Marathon Key on the 12th of February. What was remarkable about this particular two photographs is Wayne noticed right away that both of these objects, these little tiny ones, were in the same position, let alone the big orb that's next to the sun. Right? I mean, let's not even talk about that right now. Let's just talk about this little teeny dot right here. Now check out what happens when I zoom in on these things, Wayne. I'll start with the one on the left, okay?
Yes.
This is gonna freak you out, man. Tell me what the heck is going on here.
Okay, so let's look at this. We could say in bucket one, that could be Comet Honda.
Okay.
Could be. And because the fact of the matter is that we're picking up the same object at the same position, but from two different locations that are nearly 3,000 miles apart.
Right. Now let's go to the one on the left, or on the right rather, here, okay? And let's zoom in on this one. Now check this out. This just is gonna blow your mind, man. Look at that.
There it is. It's the same object.
Look at it.
If it's not Comet Honda, Steve, we may have first visual confirmation of something else out there.
Well, I hate, and then you got to turn up brightness when you do this sometimes. Color invert didn't work too good there. Let's see what I do here.
Look at that. And if you go over to the Skycam, look at that. And that's the great thing when you start going with the gamma. When you go up on the high side of gamma, it's going to pick up its own light. Look at that. That is, and you go over to the Alaskan FAA cam, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same position, nearly at the same time of day that the sun would be in the sky. And obviously it's going to be closer to the horizon in the polar regions than where Marathon is much more down in the tropics in the equatorial zone.
Closer to the equator, right?
Yeah.
Look at it's just so strange. I mean,
and it's the same thing even in the blue light. That's what gets me.
Yeah, and then we'll take one last look at it over here on the other side. And we'll close out the video and just let people, put their thoughts below. What do you think we caught? I mean, I think this is, given the ENIL data and everything like that, this would be the position of whatever we're looking for, okay? It would be on the opposite side of the Earth, and it would be the actual connections of this thing would be north-south on the sun. So there's a lot to be said for this photograph, I guess.
And you know what? Although because no solar scope is going to show this, but if we could figure out where that sat on the ecliptic, how much you want to bet it's coming up from the bottom of the ecliptic?
I'm almost certain of that.
and again, on the Marathon picture, there's clearly an object there. I don't know what that is because the lens flare, again, that we're getting on the anomaly is riding on top of the background.
Yeah. Let's push this other one to the side here for a second and just look at it. And then the last thing about this.
Turn the gamma. Let's play with this one real quick and let's see if we can get some of that excess light out and see what we're really looking at.
Okay. Huh.
There you go.
What?
What? Can you get that saturation?
Wow, that just changed everything.
What?
Are you seeing this, Wayne?
Yeah. Huh.
Huh.
Look at that.
And look at the orb in the middle here. And there's our object.
Look at that, folks.
What is that?
So you want to talk about cognitive dissonance?
Yeah, right now I think would be a good time. Because you can see when you put the gamma up like this and the saturation up really high, you can see that there's actually, the sun is making a, it's actually illuminating it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's plain as day, right? And then we get this big flash, beat, like, oh my God, the planet's showing up in the sky. Turn up the artificial system.
Get the hamster to run. Put the other one in there. They're not running fast enough, but this is obviously, this is compelling. Now listen, I know the controversy people will say on these webcams, but I don't care when listen, we're picking up.
Come on, we've been looking at photographs now, and we've seen so many convincing photos that there are orbs floating around the Earth that are not identified and being seen by astronomers. Okay? We know that there's some type of an artificial lighting system, and like every time I turn around, I get a new piece of evidence. Here it is. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, things are getting a little too visible.
Keep running that out. Look at that.
Turn it up, and then I invert the color on it, right?
Yeah. Take your contrast. There you go. Right there. Now, let's go up to gamma. Let's see if we pull down the gamma some. There, go further, go further, go further, go further. Now you're starting to see. Go pull a little bit more. Go back. It's too much. A little bit more. A little bit more. That's what you're looking at.
Wow. Woo! You know what? Find somebody you love and hug them today.
Yeah, it's
it's one of those days for me right now. I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, it's Valentine's Day. I hate Hallmark holidays, by the way.
I do too.
Hate them. But
this is great. I'll tell you, well done, Teresa. Again, I marvel at what we're looking at here now. And when I see what we're dealing with, it is amazing.
Just sometimes you catch it, sometimes you just catch it.
I don't know what that is on the left, but I do know this. I would be willing to pretty much bet the farm on the small object that we continue, that right there.
Yeah.
To be candid with you, Steve, this concerns me more than anything else, because if we can continue to confirm this, what I'd love to be able to have is someone down in the southern hemisphere, and if they could capture at the same particular time of day and see if they can see it. If they can't see this down in the southern hemisphere, then it kind of tells me, Steve, that the way the Earth is tilted on its axis,
yep,
we're having more of a direct view of this than our neighbors to the south.
Yeah, to the very south, right. Mexico has been seeing this for a while.
Now you see, you get out of my head, man. That's exactly what I was going to point out.
Right. We remember how we were catching this in Leon and Monterey at gosh, it was late spring of last year, and we made a big deal about it. This is much larger now. This is like, we were never able to see its shape or anything like that. So that's kind of a new level of detail that we're getting from it now.
Well, I know our physicists will be watching this. Steve, they're not going to show us on any model that's out there. This is going to be one. I'm appealing to any astronomers out there on a professional side who have access to the good telescopes. Listen, we'll keep you completely anonymous, but I think for the sake of humanity, that if you can see this object, please send us an anonymous email. I do believe, Steve, that this is not just a camera anomaly.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining this episode of the Steiger Olson Report.